is going on, you guys? My name is SubZeroExtabyte and I am coming at you today with a very special video. Now before we start anything, I want to warn you to please not try anything that you will be seeing at home. Everything that I am about to do is a result from me being a total dumb butt about everything that is going on. So if you do not want to end up like me in this video, then please do not try this at home. Now we shall move on to what is actually happening in today's video. Well, as you may remember, we had some encounters with toys throughout the past couple of weeks and I was testing and fooling around with some ways to make all of that stop. Now I came across one of the best things ever, which is called the toy store. Now I just want you to know that I do not mind people being hypocrites, but when they come to me and come to my house and start fooling around, well, that is the moment where I will start to fire back. Literally this time with all sorts of these things. Now I also found a toy store here that actually makes these things and I am in love. I am ready for today because today will be the first day of a new day, which means that today is a new day. Yeah, that is right. That did not make any sense at all, and that does not matter because we are going to try a mod again. We have not done one of these for a while, so you know, let's change it up for a change. Now this is a Ben 10 mod, which is pretty cool. Leave me a comment down below in the comment section if you know or like Ben 10, and I hope that you think that this is pretty cool to do. But you know, it is a mod. It is same old same old. I can just jump around and do cool stuff. That is basically what all the fuzz is about when it comes to mods. Now of course I am better than that. That is why that was just a demonstration of how you would fail in this subject. But you know, for me these are not all that hard. It is just a normal routine to follow. And of course, you know, we are walking around to a test site right now, and you know, it is just one of those ways to stay healthy like that. We all need some sports in our life, and we need some exercise so that we can actually stay healthy. So you know, why not find something that is fun and athletic or challenging at the same time? And even though it might be challenging, that is just part of the fun to me, even though most of the mods that are around already have been finished by me. So you know, that is not really that big of a deal for me. But of course that is not all, because when you do not pay enough attention to the mod that you are playing, well then you just luck out and you end in a painful death. Now I am not trying to scare you or anything, but that is just how it is right now. That is just the way life goes. Even though it might be going so easy and stuff, that does not mean that you can just cruise through it like it is nothing and without paying attention, because that will end up biting you in the butt for sure. Now of course I do not want that to happen to me, but sometimes you just cannot do anything about the ways of life these days. Lately I have been wanting to go out and relive a little bit of my youth. You know, just go around and doing some really nostalgic stuff. So that got me thinking, what is really nostalgic and what could I do that is really nostalgic? And you know that you cannot just go and do something nostalgic to make something actually feel nostalgic. So you might know this, but to make something feel nostalgic you just have got to do something, and the feeling will come whenever it is there. So I thought that today I am going to be pursuing that feeling of nostalgia with a little toy store here. And I mean, I really love the feeling of nostalgia just because it makes me feel at home, and it gives me a little throwback to my childhood and stuff. So I am just going to go ahead and do whatever it takes to get that nostalgic feeling back into my veins. And the first thing that we are going to be doing has to do with these fidget spinners right here, because that is what me and my parents used to do when I was younger. So the first thing that I am going to do to find that feeling of nostalgia is just to go ahead and go to this place here. Now of course none of this actually has anything to do with Ben 10, but that will be coming up next, because Ben 10 is cool and has a gadget, but that does not mean that he does not have any flaws. You are just not seeing them because it is a TV show, and you know that you cannot believe anything that is on the TV, right? At least that is what most people say. We do not believe what is on the TV because it is what we want to see, and what we want, you know, that is something that we cannot believe, and that is just because we have all learned to kill our dreams, and that is something that we should never be doing. Dreams are all that we have in our lives, especially when you are younger. That is the time that dreaming is the most fun, because you have got your whole life in front of you and you can just dream and contemplate about all the stuff that you might end up doing and achieving in your life. So please, you guys, promise me that you will never ever give up on your dreams, no matter how weird they might sound to anyone else, as long as they sound alright to you. Now Ben 10 is cool, but he is much more than that. He is a social engineer, so he knows his way with words. And he can do awesome free running and all the other parkour style. I am already struggling when I try and get a new can of Mountain Dew from my mini fridge underneath of my desk, because come on, it is a pretty deep stretch that I just cannot take. I am not built like most guys. I do not have the physique of a Greek god, or Chris Evans in the Avengers, or just a normal Captain America movies. But that is okay, since I do not need more than this to be Heat Blast. Now I will then turn myself into Heat Blast, and it is like a perfect lead-in explosive extravaganza. Sometimes I feel like I am a more passive version of Batman his Joker. I mean, the Joker has all of these well booked out plans and he goes out of his way just so he can screw with Batman. I basically do the same thing, but then I am the one doing it to the rich and the famous, and I rarely leave the safety and comfort of my own house. So you have got that going on, which is nice. Now let's go for a pistol. That is way more practical in these sorts of situations. But we paid a lot of diamonds for this thing, so it better be worth it. It has been a weird couple of days with all of that Herobrine whatever that has been happening the other day, so I thought to myself like, well, I need some alone time right now. Why does this always happen to me, man? I really do not understand it. It is like someone is trying to make me feel bad. So today I am going to be combining these two ideas of mine. One is the cool part, and two is the house part. And this is not just a house. No, this is a house for a buddy of mine, and I really think that this should be ending up pretty cool. Also, I really want to tell you who the house is for, but I am not sure if I can already say that. Hold on a second, I will look at me editor real quick. And he is waving at me saying that it is okay to tell you guys who the house is for. I mean, right now I just feel like I am in that one house show, where they completely revamp someone their house and they have to yell move the bus or something like that. Alright, so that does not matter, but the house is actually for me, or rather this room, because this is where I am going to activate this stone. Alright, so guys, please forgive me right now for what I am doing with this thing here, because I literally have no idea what I am doing right now. This is just some on the fly thinking right here, because I literally have no idea how to use all of this. So if you have any sort of tips and tricks for me, well, that will always be welcome, of course. But right now I do not really have enough time to go look for some tutorials, because I will really need to make sure that no one finds me in this hole. I mean, no one will find me, right? I told that him to just go away a couple of minutes ago, so I hope that he respects that instead of following me or coming back with like a group of guys or something, because I usually get intimidated pretty quick and I am like a turtle. I will need a shell so that I can hide in there, and right now I do not have a shell, so this is basically my shell right now. I will have to make sure that I can get through this, otherwise I will not have my shell for whenever more people show up, and then, well, that means that it is time to panic for me. Well, oh my god, I am not sure what I have just unleashed, but I can tell you that these are a lot of cool things, man. But you know, I guess the maid will clean all of that up, because I will need some more time to experiment with all of these things before I actually end up having to get arrested or anything for doing this. Usually you can only fool around with explosives on the 4th of July, but since that is not today and neither is it New Year's Eve, so I could probably get busted for doing this. But you know, if that is what I have to do to fight for my freedom, then I will be glad to do anything right now, because I am not backing down right now. I will be the one who will come out on top of this today. I will make sure that once I build my new house there will be no one around of my pleas that is able to destroy everything that I have worked so hard for. Or maybe I should just let some of these things go off and just put everything ablaze. That actually might be the way to go with this. But then again, I really just want to be like Ben 10 and do good, because I came here the other day and some freaking noob came around and he was not that bad, but it just gave me a lot of stress, and I did that thing with the creepers, which was also pretty freaking stressful and anxiety inducing. So you know, I came here and decided to do something about my little problem by getting rid of the stress and anxiety by blowing some stuff up, and by finding a way which would keep all of those noobs at bay when I am around here. That is just the ugly truth. I am sorry if it sounds like really harsh, but if this is what I have to do to finally be on my own in my own Minecraft world, then I will be okay to do all of this right now, and I will be bearing the consequences, of course, because that is just who I am as a person. That is just amazing for me, but also for science. I will have to write all of my findings down so that I can make sure that there will be things getting done with all of this. This is just crazy, my man. Now I will just start blowing things up, because you know how it is. I just want to blow things up. Next to being an amazing science man, I am also just a freaking boss when it comes to these things. So I don't know about you guys, but this is going to get pretty mental. I am not really sure what to expect from this, but I bet that it is going to be really hard. I have seen a couple of videos where people fought these mobs and it looked really hard to me, but it looked like they were all lucky enough to get back to their home. So I hope that this will happen to me as well, and otherwise, you know, someone will probably have to come find me. I just hope that I do not get killed or kidnapped or something, and some creep finds me and he locks me up in his basement and he will keep me for all eternity. I am not really about all of that, so I just hope that I get straight back to my home so that my friend can literally love me. That is probably the funniest thing about all of this, the fact that I am going to get loved. But yeah, I am hopeful that all of this will go right at the first try, and otherwise I will have no idea what will happen to me if someone finds out that I am actually inside of that house. So let's just hope that I do not get beaten. But you maybe be wondering right now, like, well Sub, what in the world are you doing right now? Just doing something reckless like building a watch like this, just out of pure boredom? Well, yes and no. I mean, kind of yes, but really no. I mean, there have been a lot of people trying to build good stuff lately, and even though I made a really cool video on how to make a nice furnace and such, by the way, you should definitely go ahead and check that out because it was literally amazing. But as I was saying, yes, we are going to be doing something a little bit different than that, because right now we are going to go into a more typical / classical Ben 10 style. So this is actually pretty fun for now. I mean, I would have never thought that this was the way that this game would take me. So I guess that is some kind of a learning experience now that I can actually see what is going on inside of this new world. But I mean, these monsters are going fast and they are pretty reckless. No wonder they always lose stuff or get killed by the sunlight. I mean, would you just look at this dump? I bet that once I am done with these mobs that I will be the one who comes out on top laughing at them. So it looks like we are about to be done with this thing and it will be fully operational. But would you just look at the size of this thing? It is insane. I mean, I have been to New York and other big cities, and the fact that those buildings and skyscrapers are so high is insane. But this thing, well, this is just something else for a change. Usually, like with the enhanced swords and stuff, it was just 2 blocks wide. Well, this thing is not messing around. Oh no, I took a wrong freaking step. Well, that is a bummer. I guess dead people cannot use a freaking diamond head. That is why we are able to respawn in the beautiful world of Minecraft. I mean, I would be so pissed if I actually ended up dying and to just not be able to use this thing then. Well, that would be a huge bummer. But we are not completely done. But I will be needing some protection, so this diamond head it is, you guys. And then we can finally start to figure out what kind of things we can actually start using and filming and freaking rad up with this thing. It is like we have reinvented the freaking wheel, but instead of the wheel we morphed into a cool freaking diamond, and instead of reinventing it we just made a bigger freaking version of a normal diamond. That is awesome. I am just in awe right now. I would have never thought that I would actually be able to become something that looks this majestic. But you know how it is. Beggars cannot be choosers. But today we have shown that we are not mere beggars. No, we have shown the people that we are a force to be reckoned with. So behold the mighty diamond head. Bow for it or you will be regretting it for the rest of your mortal life, because this thing will be standing here even when you are long gone, as long as it can feast on items to use it, and finish things. And for the rest, well, it really does not care about anything. We just need something to put into it so that it has something to actually do instead of just hanging around here. But like I said, that does not matter one bit, because I will be personally making sure that we can do this, and that we are actually able to do some cool enough stuff to end poverty and world hunger. But of course we need a lot of items for that, so that will basically become my life's goal, to make sure that this diamond head will be running and finishing stuff until the end of time, and then it will still be going on, and it will be making people happy, because now people can finally get the stuff that they want. And of course mass production is really big these days, so I guess that a diamond this size would possibly help with that. But of course we will be needing to make sure that this cool freaking spinner will not be used by the wrong people. And by the wrong people I mean the people who are willing to melt and cook it that will hurt people. So just to make weaponry and that kind of stuff. I mean, weapons are cool and stuff, but once you give a gun to a guy who has been having thoughts about shooting someone, well, you know that might not actually be the smartest thing ever to do. But for the rest of my life, I am going to be with me, and I don't want to spend my life with someone who is always critical. So I am going to stop being my own critic like these godlike things. It's high time that I accept all the great things about me, and these people will be here to test that. And of course that is the point where I end up here. Well, that happened. I guess that means that I am normal again. But you know, I will take that as long as you guys will stick beside me. Take care people, and have a great day.